Have you ever been to one of those Christmas Eve candlelight services and the room is really dark and they give everyone candles and they light one candle and then you turn and light another candle and then before you know it, the entire room is filled with this amazing light? So I don't think God's asking me to change the world. I think God's asking me to do what I can do, and that's to help one child at a time.
Say if a person hasn't been there like your whole life you've been alive. Say if they like left around 1.5 and they basically gave up on you.
And she was really young whenever she gave birth to me. But for her to die that early, I was like, whoa. I'm scared still. I still want to go to Oklahoma and see my mom, but I can't. The only time that I can get, the closest I can get is go to a grave. But that's not really gonna help very much at all.
I believed these two main lies. Nobody loves you and nobody cares about you. And every time I heard that lie, I would always cry and I would always shut myself out. And
nobody's gonna miss you when you're gone. Nobody's gonna even realize that you were gone. They're just gonna be like, oh, look, there's a quiet in the house.
For me, why I was bullying people is because I wanted to make myself feel better.
And then it's like, man, Zach, what are you doing, man? And it's like, I just can't forgive myself for what I did.
But sometimes something I realize is that you have to understand the reason why it's happening. Like, you can't stop a leaky faucet unless you understand where it came from.
So I came to the ranch, and then going on 2 years, still here.
personally, I thought it was just a weird place.
I'm staying in this car. Like, they had to try and drag me out of the car. Finally, I gave in. I went in. I didn't want to leave.
So after the ranch, I feel like a kid can be a kid. A perfect place like for you because you have friends here, you can do activities with them and bond with them.
They're a family for you. Here, we have bonding moments, we work together. We have times to be ourselves.
I was getting a lot of F's or D's in class, and I never got any awards. It felt amazing. Honestly, I was so proud of myself. I really never expected it to happen.
When I was younger, I had a couple people tell me that I was too stupid to learn and I needed to be put into a mental school. It was heartbreaking. I literally had to find it in myself to be like, no, I'm not gonna let those people call me that. And I've jumped 7 grade levels in 4 years and am in the highest reading level here.
There was a saying that people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. So you have to show them that you care for them as a person, that you're willing to listen when they're struggling, that you're gonna come alongside and help them.
So how many people does it take to help a kid? As many that are willing to serve. Edgewood has been around since 1966 and born from the vision of Judge Arthur Yerge. It started with 2 boys in a rented house. The first executive director, Dr. Jack Lind, and the kids prayed for their first meal, and a knock came at the door, and somebody from the church delivered their first meal, and we've been praying ever since. All of that is through God moving in people's hearts to make a difference, and without that, without people that serve, without people that support us, without people that move, we wouldn't have been around for so long. And when you're a child coming out of any kind of traumatic situation, you wonder, do these people really love me? Do they really care about me? And since I was a rancher, I understand where the pain's coming from. But there is hope. We just need to get you there.
But I was like, sometimes we wonder why stuff happens. If God is alive, then why would my sister die when she was 5 in kindergarten? If that happened, why wouldn't my grandpa have a heart attack?
And especially me and my husband, we are both from broken families. When I say broken families, it's just absent fathers, mother is not present at all. Well, maybe God called us for a reason here. You know, maybe that's a reason for us to be here.
To help a child realize that the lies that they're thinking to themselves regularly are wrong. Because as a kid, you're constantly thinking to yourself, somehow this is my fault.
Someone is at least listening to me and they know what I'm talking about. And it gives me like that happy feeling inside that like I have someone to go to now that understands me.
They just make us feel like we're their own, and like they make us feel loved and cherished and just feel loved by God.
Like, I don't have to worry about people leaving me because they're showing me like love, because I know there will always be somebody I can turn to.
Hope is something that you find. It's all around, but we don't force it on them. But it has to be real to you as well.
I didn't know Jesus, but I knew him. I didn't personally know him, but I've heard people talk about him.
You know, the parents know that we do all read the Bible together, but we're not like standing over them. I think it's kind of a personal relationship, and as much as they'll understand or receive, it's why I'm here. So it would be amazing, to say the least. So
there's all like my guilt and all my guilt to people and all my regret. This all went away. Just like in a split of a second.
I was actually kind of stunned because I can't believe God actually forgave me at that moment, and like feeling healed and feeling peaceful. It was a soft spirit, and it was just like saying like, it's fine, you're with me now, like I will take care of you and I will lead you to a right path.
Edgewood is like, it's a miracle because my life would have been so downhill. Like me and my brother had a conversation the other day and that's never happened. And it kind of felt sweet because I'm like, wow, I'm having a conversation with my twin brother. So it was really nice. So I knew that I can trust God, because if I can trust him fixing my family and we are torn apart so much, I can trust him in me every day.
Being here has helped me identify the fact that my past doesn't define me. And I think that really helped me a lot with figuring out who I really was.
It's not about the rules. It's about the relationship. Who God says these parents are. Who God says these beautiful, broken, sometimes extremely naughty children are. They're his. And we get to fight for that and say, no. This is what's true.
And you feel honored that you were able to be a part of that kid's life for that part of the journey. You were able to be an instrument of God's love and to show them that they were valuable and they were lovable when they didn't believe it about themselves.
Well, Jesus didn't give up on us, right? He gave everything so that we would have something. And if we give up on a kid, they don't get to live out their full potential. But if we support that kid and we provide that child hope, there's no telling the positive impact that kid can have for this world and for the kingdom of God.
Whole property, everybody loves you. You can't even imagine how people love you.